the time too last summer, this company was in the news because they had been raided by the IRS because of some questions about how they pay the scrap dealers that come into their yards, and so there were all kinds of questions raised about the company. So one of our first concerns was, hey, if they're operating their place in Bridgeport like this and they've got problems with the IRS and so on, this might not be the kind of company we can really trust very much.
Entonces descubrimos que esta compañía también tenía problemas con el IRS. ¿Y qué otra cosa? ¿Qué otra cosa viste?
Just that whether we can trust them.
Oh, entonces porque tienen problemas con el gobierno y también están sucios, desordenados, pensamos que no realmente pudiéramos confiar en ellos.
But then we started to look into the industry as well, and it was very difficult. It took us months to get much information because honestly this is an industry that's not well regulated, it's largely unregulated, and there's not been a lot of research out there on this industry. It's really only in the last couple of years that all of a sudden there's research starting to be done on this industry.
Esta industria solamente hace 2 años que se ha empezado a estudiar y regular, y nosotros empezamos a estudiarlo y vimos todos los problemas que hay con estas clases de compañías.
But when we started to look into these facilities around the country, what we saw were concerns about particulate pollution, which is the metallic dust that gets into the air that's created, the foul smelling metallic dust. Noise around these facilities is frequently a problem.
Lo que nos dimos cuenta, lo que aprendimos leyendo sobre estas compañías que están por todo el mundo, que tienen la contaminación en el aire que uno respira, también tienen un olor del metal y también metal y el ruido también es una contaminación también de ruido.
Also, there's a real problem with the fact that because of all the variety of things that are recycled in these places, there's a lot of toxins that are included, things like the acid from batteries, things like that actually gets into the mix of these places as well.
Y también porque las cosas que están trayendo como baterías y cosas tóxicas en el carro, cuando se están shredding, se me olvida esa palabra otra vez, ya saben, shredding, ¿no? Shredding. Esto también se contamina uno con todo eso, no solamente es el metal, pero hay cosas que son tóxicas dentro de del carro, de la refri y todo eso.
But perhaps the most shocking thing that we found, and it really came as a surprise to me, was how common explosions and fires are at these facilities. That's the really thing that really, I think, caught my attention. Just doing a Google internet search, I was able to find dozens of examples within the last year. It seems to me that you can and this is just, citizen kind of on the internet for several hours research, I would say that there's probably an explosion or a fire at a facility at least once a month somewhere in the country. So I'm going to play a video here of one of them just so you can see what I'm talking about.
Algo que es bastante espantoso es que cuando pusimos a estudiar y investigar, nos dimos cuenta que estas compañías causan por lo menos una vez al mes explosiones y fuegos. Y esas explosiones y fuegos no están ahí nada más en su espacio, se salen sobre el vecindad.
So I'll just play one of the examples. I want to watch our time a little bit here, but this I think is really interesting.
We just done so. That's a nice day. I like that.
Dan Schaefer, a lot of people in Tampa Bay woke up this morning to their skies filled with smoke. The smell of it stretching for miles. The cause was an early morning fire at a steel recycling plant in Tampa's east side. Rob Munoz has been covering this almost since that fire first started this morning. He joins us live. Rob, any word on how this all started?
Well, Dan, right now, fire investigators really haven't gotten a chance to really get in there. Let me step out of the way to show you what's going on here. Firefighters are still fighting this thing like they have been since 4 o'clock this morning, continuously pouring water and foam onto this burning pile of steel that just continues to smolder on. 100 feet high in the night sky. With the light of the inferno, we could see mangled scrap steel burning like a torch. The fire burned so intensely, white-hot flames were seen shooting through the rubbish. Marcus Tennyson heard it start at 4 this morning.
It sounded like rapid gunshots going off, so it might have been shells in somebody's car or something that they had over there to scrap, you know. And then all of a sudden the flames just started shooting up.
We ourselves heard steel pop as it caught fire. And as the night turned to day, we found out the location is a scrap steel facility called One Steel. Now they couldn't talk to us on camera, but we ran into a dealer who said One Steel is the largest scrap metal company in all of Florida.
They have very good safety programs, they have very good customer service relationship, and they're very good and strict on the regulations.
In fact, it was 2 of their workers who called the fire in. Luckily, no one was hurt. Our firefighters had to get creative to kill the fire that was dangerously close to 2 large containers of calcium nitrate.
They're working the pilot part, trying to get to the actual seat of the fire. You'll see different colors of the smoke. That's the light is us putting the water in the foam.
Adding water created a large smokestack that burned on for miles, visible
Oh my
as far as 10 feet. Now, there's no word yet on just how long this can continue to smolder here. As you can imagine,